Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm just here to show you how easy it is to remove these burgundy faux locks from my actual locks because of the method that I use to put them in, which is just rubber bands, but making sure I don't tighten them too much when I put them on. So you can see here, this one's already slid down a little bit, which if you've seen my last video, you know is one of the concessions I made to make sure that the rubber bands did not catch on to my real hair and pull on it. So I only wrapped the rubber band around the faux lock 4 times. So it does have that kind of moving ability. You do have to kind of go in and push them back up periodically. But the benefit of that is when it's time to remove them, you really just slide them off. Like, it's so easy. So I just realized something about interlocking that seems so obvious and so basic, but it's a game changer. So I had to pop out this recording device in the middle of interlocking, which is already exhausting, and show this because it's so basic, but it's really. So part of the issue with interlocking sometimes is that it's hard to pull the lock through because you've got the base of the lock, right? Which, you know, the new hair and everything. And you want to be very careful so you don't over tighten it and whatnot. But even when you're not over tightening it, you still have to get the full width of the lock and the width of your interlocking tool through the base. And especially when you've got locks where you combine them and so the bases are a lot thicker than this part up here that kind of more naturally came together and wasn't like by the time you get to this part, if you remember, my locks started out with like over 550 locks, and then my mom combined them for me, and then she combined them for me again. So this is like 8 tiny locks, whereas this hair up here kind of like more naturally came together because at this point it was just one lock. So the hairs were able to more, you know, cohesively come together. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but basically, regardless of the process, the locks are thicker down here than they are up here. So I've always just put the needle onto the lock like down here. So I'm trying to pull the thickest part of the lock through the base of the lock with the needle. So basically I was making it harder than it needs to be. Let me just show you what I just discovered, and you're gonna be like, wow, obviously do that instead, right? So here you've got, you know, the lock. I'm gonna put it in, and then just slide it up to the thinner part, duh. And then when you pull it through, the thinner part goes through first, and it's so much easier because when it gets to the fatter part of the lock, the interlocking needle's already through, so you don't have to pull them both through at the same time. It's just so much, it makes so much more sense, and I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I hope I showed that. I'll do it one more time. I mean, basically, it's so easy. Like, this part's thinner than that part, so duh, pull the thin part through. So much simpler. Wow, why didn't I do that before? So that's why I had to come on to show you. Yeah. Hope this helps. Anyway, back to work. I've still got an entire half side left, so hours more to go before I'm done. So today, I guess, is this a day of discoveries because someone commented on my last video and was super kind and gave me a suggestion for how to install the faux locks in an even better way. So thank you for the comment, and thank you to the person who made the video that shows this. So I will also link to that video as well. But I also wanted to show you with these locks because my locks, the faux locks I have, are slightly different, but I can still do it with them. So I want to show you how I do it with that. We find a spot. So instead of putting the lock through the loop, I'm gonna put the lock around the faux lock around my lock, and then put the faux lock back through its own loop. So here's the loop. I'm gonna go through that loop. Oh my goodness, my hands are right in the way. But I'm gonna go, okay, that's a little better. I'm gonna go right through this loop with the faux loc. So you can see the faux loc is just going through itself. And then I'm gonna make sure it's back up at the root when I tighten it. So I'm basically just making a knot. And there it is. And I don't have to use any rubber bands. It doesn't feel really much less secure than the rubber bands, especially when I was doing it the way where it's not super tight. I think in a lot of ways this will be better because there's no rubber bands involved at all, and kind of the texture of the rubber band was part of what causes the pulling. So I think with this only using the hair, it's going to be even better. And see, that feels like honestly more secure and there's no rubber bands involved. So this is way better, I think. So again, thank you to the person that commented that, and I will link the video where I saw the technique. But I just wanted to show you that it does also work with the pre-looped locks. So here are the results of the new method of doing the faux locks without rubber bands at all, and I love it. I feel like it looks a lot more natural, and now there's no more rubber bands, so there's not going to be pulling. Other than the method of putting them in, I did it very similarly where it's pretty low key, not a whole lot of burgundy happening, but it's just like a cute little like pop of color, which is what I want. I put in the same faux locks again. I already washed them with shampoo, just like my hair. So I'm going to reuse them until I can't reuse them. I trimmed them a little bit, so since they're, you know, faux hair, they're not going to regrow or anything like that. So I guess eventually they might be a little too raggedy, but that time has not come. So this is the result. I'm happy that I had some realizations from interlocking and faux locks today. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do other videos on my hair, and I've got some other unrelated videos about like books that I like reading, cookies that I like baking, you know, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, please go ahead and subscribe. Or if not, if you just like this video, please like the video, and that's cool. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, night, or whatever it is where you are, and I will see you next time.